Hi friends, I'm Sherin Mathews. I'm a storyteller, and today I'm back to tell you the second story of my 40 stories and my fourth heart tale. So the story of how I got my faith so strong. What happened to me? See, basic personality is formed between 0 to 6 years. That also means our very strong beliefs, feelings, emotions are forever developed during this period of time. And then as we grow up, people might change, situations might change, but our feelings remain the same. And so does our belief system. So this is a very beautiful story. I was actually a few weeks back actually, I was praying for an idea. And I don't know, there was this period of time when I felt like I have simply run out of ideas. I could not think, and I didn't know what to do about it. So all that I do always is pray. So I prayed for an idea. God, please give me an idea. God, please give me an idea. That was my prayer. On the third day, before I opened my eyes, when I was on the bed, I knew I really don't know how to express it. But I knew inside my heart that I want to do 100 stories. And before opening up my eyes, I was smiling, grinning, and I simply jumped out of the bed. I was so happy because I knew that I'm going to do 100 stories. And again, these 100 stories are going to be amazing. I'm telling you this now when I'm on the fourth heart tale. They'll be called heart tales because they are from my heart. And just like the faith that I have for all my prayers, and I feel this is divinely inspired, I feel that it'll rock. It'll rock. I don't know how, but something profound will happen out of these 100 stories. I really don't know, but I know. I really don't know what, but I know that it will. So the day that I got this idea about 100 stories, suddenly I remembered a story from my childhood, and then I realized, oh my God, my belief system was formed at that time. Even though I have been doing so many things inspired by prayers, I remembered the incident at this point of time. Though I remembered this incident very well and I've spoken about it quite a few times, but then I related it to my faith and my practice of prayer to my current life. So it's a very nice, lovely story. I was a small kid. I think I might have been 5 years of age, senior KG. And I have always been born and brought up in a city, okay? And my grandfather lived in Kerala, and he had a huge house. He had cows and goats, and there were hens, and there were cats, and there was a dog. It was just beautiful. And I remember that I always wanted to grow up and become a farmer, or I wanted to sell tea. That was my dream. And even today, I really would like to sell tea someday. There's no reason for it. Maybe there's a story about it also, which maybe I'll say someday. So I was 5 years of age. I was 5 years old, and I was in my grandfather's house, and just next to my grandfather's room where he slept, there was a sand pit. And I don't know how, I don't know if the hens were trained, but that was the place usually where the hen came and laid an egg. And as I was sitting and playing in the sand, I discovered an egg. And now my grandmother would put this egg in a fireplace, okay, a hearth, and she would roast it on the coals and then give us to eat. That was that was magic for me, and that was a big deal to see the egg getting roasted on coals and to have it, because I had never seen anything other than the regular gas that we all use. So that day I discovered, I found an egg, And then I took this egg to my grandma very happily. I was on top of the world that it was me who discovered the egg. And now my grandmother is going to roast on those black, red, hot coal. And then she's going to give it to me, and it's going to smell amazing and taste amazing. And I was so enthusiastic to have that egg. So I gave it to my grandmother, and she started roasting it. And I was standing there anticipating getting the roasted egg. Now, my cousins had also come. There were my cousin sister and my cousin brother, my dad's sister's kids. I don't know why, and I don't know what my grandmother was thinking, but she took the egg after roasting it. She broke it into two and gave it to those two children, and she didn't give it to me. You can imagine, I was shattered. I was so disappointed. I was in tears. I was crying. I ran to my mom and I told her, Mama, we call grandmother Ammachi in Malayalam. Okay, so I said, Ammachi roasted that egg and it was me who gave it to her and she has given it to them and now I don't have an egg. And I was crying bitterly. I really wanted it. I just loved the idea of having that egg roasted. And because I think of the kind of relationship or the kind of respect which my mom had for my grandmother, because she's not a person who would back answer, or she would not a person who will go and confront her. So I could see there was some kind of an emotional pain on my mom's face also. She felt bad about it, but she didn't raise a voice. Instead, she told me, go and pray to Jesus. He will give you an egg. All of 5 years, I totally believed it. I think I believed it now. At that point of time, I don't know what I was thinking. So I went to my grandfather's room and we loved that room. The altar was in that room, so we used to pray in that room. And under the altar, there was a cellar where a lot of stuff was kept, and we used to hide in the cellar, and we were afraid to hide. We always used to play hide and seek, and we were afraid to hide in the cellar because everybody scared us that there is a bhoot over there. Okay, there's a ghost. So I went to the room, and I would not, even though we played and we loved that room, nobody would go into that room alone all by themselves. So I went to the room and I forgot about all the fear and ghost and everything. I simply kneeled down, I joined my hands in front of the altar and I started praying, God, Jesus. I said, Jesus, please give me an egg. Jesus, please give me an egg. I know it sounds funny, but it wasn't at that time. So I was really disappointed and now I'm laughing about it. So tragedy plus time is equal to comedy in many instances. So I was praying and then I don't know when I fell asleep. So I fell asleep on my grandfather's bed. I don't know how long I slept for, but then after some time, my eyes were still closed and I could feel something moving on my face, okay? And it was like in a rotation. It was rotating on my face. And when I came to my senses and tried opening my eyes, I felt something dark and black on my face. I was so scared, I thought that's a booth on my face. And I jumped out of the bed screaming. And when I jumped out of the bed, can you imagine? Can you imagine what it was? It was a hen. It was a black hen sitting on my face. I still cannot get over it. I cannot believe that a hen entered the room, which it never does otherwise, and it was sitting on my face. On my face. And then I saw it going out of the room, and my heart was, of course, beating very fast. I could not comprehend what was happening. And when I looked at the bed, it was miraculous. There was an egg beside my grandfather's pillow. And before that and after that, I have never, ever seen an egg on a bed or even a hen coming inside the house, in the room, and laying an egg. So I was just too happy, and I took the egg and I ran and I showed everybody And I told everybody, you know, I prayed and Jesus gave me this egg. So I told my grandmother, you didn't give me an egg, but Jesus gave me an egg. I went and told my mom. She was very happy, euphoric almost. She instantly roasted it and gave it to me. And I was the happiest kid on that day. But on that day, I didn't realize that it would go on to become such a strong strength in my life. And today, as an adult, I feel it's so important to have faith. It's so important to have belief. Even if you're a person who does not believe in God, you need to believe in something. Because the very pillar, edifice of your life stands on belief. Because no matter how close you are to somebody, no matter how great friends you have, though I have amazing friends, I cannot live without Shivani and Malsi. They are the pillar of my life. But you never know where life will take you. And the only thing which you can confidently believe in is your belief. It's so important. If there was no God, man would have created a God. He's so essential. So I really, truly believe that my strong faith and belief came from this incident. And I'm very, very glad today that my grandmother didn't give me that egg. Because if she had given me, then I would not have known it. And I need it so much, so much. And I realize that whatever happens, happens for good. Whatever I have lost in my life, I have not gone after it. I have rather promised myself that no matter what, and no matter who says and does what, I know that there is a God for me, and I know that He will take care of me. So there's another story that I remember this Sunday when Father was saying the sermon in the church. He said a very beautiful story, very short one. He said there was this priest and he was giving sermons, and one of the parishioners from his church owned a casino. So after the sermon was over and the mass was over, this guy went to the priest and he said, you know what, we both are in the same business. And Father said, same business, how is that? He said, people come to both of us with hope. I do gambling. People come to me with the hope of becoming a millionaire. And people come with a hope to you for all that they want in life. And then the priest says, no, my sweetheart, that's not a fact. You're a gambler. And when people come to you with hope, it's a gamble. It might not happen. But when you come to God, it's a surety. I completely, totally believe it. And when I heard that, I was so happy. So that's my second story. Tomorrow, I will tell a story with my first student, Parth Shah, who came to me as my first student 17 years back. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you.